welcome back to the Cardsmiths. Max here. Hope you had a Merry Christmas, that your holidays are going well, and that you're ready to dive back into some more L5R LCG content today. So, in last week's video, we explored the updated rules reference and Imperial law documents for the game. Today, we're going to be doing something fairly different, and that's going to be that we're going to be looking at some great resources beyond our channel for both those of you just beginning the game, either you're interested in getting the game, you've just bought maybe a core set and you're looking to learn a little more about it and get some help in some more help in learning the game and just some more access to some more resources. So this video is going to be for you guys, and it's also going to be for those who are interested in the game's competitive play, as well as those of you who are already competitive players might find some useful resources here towards the end of the video as well. So we're going to kick it off just looking, again, like I said, just looking at other resources beyond our channel that that I've gone through, I've followed or looked at, and I think they're the list here are the ones that I think are really great resources and that I highly recommend. So to start it off, we'll look at one here, which is really good for people who are either interested in the game or have just gotten the game, just kind of getting into it, and that's the Imperial Chronicle here. So the Imperial Chronicle, the production quality is very high. These videos are really good. I've watched through a lot of them myself, and I highly recommend them. So what these are, we'll look at the description here. And yeah, so like I said in the description, this is a channel to help those brand new to the world of Legend of the Five Rings or to tabletop games. So the Imperial Chronicle, they are not actively producing content for the game. Their last post, and this is even a post for the L5R RPG, was over a year ago. But yeah, so most of these resources are from when the game first came out. But for those of you just getting into the game, I still think these resources stand as really excellent resources. So yeah, it's not all for the card game here. Yeah, lots of the more recent stuff is for the RPG. If you're interested in that, you should definitely check those out. But for the purposes of this video, we're just going to look at for the LCG. So we'll click their playlist. Videos from a core set unboxing like we have on our channel, all the way to looking at playmats, influence, building decks for your first game, picking a clan, launch kits if you are interested in organized play for the game, especially following the end of the pandemic, whenever that may be, if you're then looking to potentially get into that. Looking at Tears of Amaterasu cards, the Elemental Cycle, interviewers with or the head of, I believe it's UK or European organized play here, novellas, cycles of packs, novellas, just a number of really excellent resources for those who are just getting into the game, or even for a more experienced player. Maybe you'll find, hey, you know what, this novella looks interesting, I'll check this out. So we'll go back. Really, really excellent resource here, the Imperial Chronicle. Highly recommend this for new players. The next one we're going to look at is Team Covenant. So Team Covenant, if you are in the hobby of expandable card games, you've likely heard of Team Covenant. They are an excellent resource for a lot of games. Team Covenant has done amazing things for the tabletop industry, for expandable card games. They've really elevated the industry, and I highly recommend them. In terms of Legend of the Five Rings, in terms of Legend of the Five Rings, they don't have as much content. They have a learning L5R series, and it says here the guide is updating continuously to provide the most current information. Keep in mind, this is not, I was just looking through it now, prior to beginning this video, and there's references to deluxe expansions, which for this game they've gone the premium expansion route. So this doesn't appear to have been updated in some time. That being said, for someone just getting into the game, I still think this holds as a really good resource. If you're someone who likes to sometimes just read through something at your own pace as opposed to watching a video for it, their blog posts here are quite informative. Keep in mind, not everything is entirely accurate, as here talking about deluxe expansions. L5R having gone the premium expansion route, that's a little bit different. But for the most part, the essence of what is said here is still very useful and relevant. They have a learning L5R video here with one of the game designers, Brad Andreas. Then learning L5R core set deck building if you're first getting into deck building, advanced deck building, a guide on each of the clans, additional resources, a buyer's guide, which could be something of use if you checked out our expansion options explained and you just wanted to see a little bit more about that. Also, additional resources for L5R. This is really useful for if this is the first your first foray into expandable card games. Then this is a really good resource for that. You can learn more about the wonderful world and community of these games. So you have topics such as organized play. You can learn a little bit more about that, about what a world championship is for L5R called the Winter Court. Deck builders, 5 Rings DB, card game DB. Another one is Bushi Builder. Personally, I use 5 Rings DB. I really recommend this one. I think it's great. I prefer the 5 Rings DB one over the card game DB one for L5R, but definitely perhaps you'll check out the card game DB one and you'll prefer that one. So you got a couple options there, Bushi Builder being a third one. YouTube, so the Imperial Advisor, this is another channel we're actually going to get into. No Funny Stuff is another one I'm going to be recommending as well, so we'll look at those in a little bit. You got some podcast options here for if you're interested in that. Discussion platforms, forums, kind of things, Reddit, Board Game Geek, and this... I recall seeing one that had things such as, actually I think it was the buyer's guide. I believe it was this one. Yeah, a few final accessories. So there's a really good discussion here on cards being an investment and protecting them if you are looking to kind of enter into this as more of a hobby. If you are interested in competitive play, things like card sleeves, maybe a play mat, deck boxes, those kind of things are really good things to check out. So you got some good discussions on that. Little section on playmats here, card sleeves. We'll look to do a video on good accessories for L5R in the future, as it really does. Not only does it help protect your cards, like a playmat protecting your cards from maybe like a bit of a dirtier table at a store or something, or a playmat is also really good at just keeping your play area really organized and clear. I highly recommend a playmat. That's excellent. Card sleeves as well. Cards, I played a lot of Netrunner without card sleeves, and the cards do with a Star Wars LCG as well. Especially the Star Wars LCG, the cards with a lot of use will actually start to get quite damaged. So if you're planning on using these cards a lot, sleeves are a great idea. Deck boxes as well is really useful if you're going to events. And yeah, again, we'll look to make a video on this in the future and talk more about this, because I think it's a great topic. It's cool. There's some really nice play mats for this game, cool deck boxes, and it's just a really cool way to kind of accessorize your game, make cool aesthetic choices on how you want sort of your experience to look. So that's pretty exciting. And anyway, yeah, that's the Team this is on the Team Covenant website here. Again, I should have mentioned off the top that we will be putting a link in the video description below to each of these resources. So if you see one in the video you're interested in, you're maybe having a bit of trouble finding it, just check out that description below, and there'll be a link to each of these. So yeah, Team Covenant, they have a YouTube channel as well, and this is great. What I found this to be an excellent resource when I was first entering into the world of expandable card games. Learned a ton from Team Covenant for their Star Wars LCG, Netrunner, and yeah, for L5R again, there were some of their videos were embedded in that blog post, but it's a little bit harder to find their L5R stuff because they do not have they're not actively producing videos for L5R. They don't have too many of them, but the ones they've made are still good and they still hold up. So yeah, they are a little harder to find. They don't have a specific playlist for it, and because they stream 5 days a week, that's going to be hard to find a video from 2017 scrolling through their massive amount of videos. We won't even attempt that. So Team Covenant L5R. And yeah, so they'll be the first ones that come up here. You have some how to play, learning L5R. Their learning L5R series is like 3 games. They have some, and then some deck building, core set deck building, advanced deck building, a video of their podcast. Should you play L5R? If you've never played L5R, you might be interested in this. See if this is a game you are interested. You can check out all the resources available on our channel, but this is something else as well if you're interested in that, or instead. And yeah, is L5R the next big game? Interview with Nate French on the Scorpion Clan, Brad Andreas with the Lion. Their most recent video, the only one that they have put out for the game within really years, even all their other ones are 3 years ago, or even all their other ones are about 3 years old. The only recent video, and even this was 8 months ago, was exploring the new skirmish format for L5R, which we do have some plans to eventually try to do on our channel. But if skirmish is something that sounds really cool to you, you should definitely go have a look at their video. Keep in mind, they weren't as big of a fans of the complete version of the game as we are, and we disagree with a number of their takes on the Stronghold or the full version of the game from that video. But if you're interested in skirmish, you should check it out. But we definitely do not agree with some of their takes in that video, in particular in regards to their opinions about the Stronghold format. So yeah, so a number of resources here. Moving on from Team Covenant, the next one we're going to have a look at is the Emerald Dojo. And the Emerald Dojo is a website which I actually just found recently. There was a link to it on the Card Game DB forum page near the top, or the most recent post, I believe, for L5R, and it was just a description of what this is and a link to the site. And I had a look at this, and the Emerald Dojo is an excellent resource for people who are interested in competitive play for L5R. So whereas the Imperial Chronicle and Team Covenant, namely, I think really excellent resources for beginners, people starting out, people interested in the game, or people having just gotten the game, people in the early stages of playing the game. Those are the best resources for that, I think, out there and beyond our channel. And the Emerald Dojo here is, yeah, a really, really good one for people interested in getting into the game's competitive scene. So what this is it's a series of articles. And yeah, when I found this recently, even after having played the game quite a lot now, I read through this and I think it's incredibly well done. It's well written. Like, the articles are well written, and they're really informative. They're really useful. Even if you're an experienced player, there might be something interesting there for you to read. The gameplay fundamental articles, namely, are the best ones for either new players or newer players looking to play the game competitively. I highly recommend these gameplay fundamental ones. For anyone, just anyone looking to improve at the game of Legend of the Five Ring, these articles are gonna be your best friends. So, really highly recommend these. They have clan primers as well. I haven't so much gone through these. I don't think clan meta guides, deck building, and just starting out. So even for a brand new player, if you are just starting out, the Emerald Dojo could be an excellent resource for you there as well, with their starting out section. So yeah, highly recommend this. The next one we're gonna have a look at is the No Funny Stuff, and this is one of the top competitive players of the game, and Chris Pottorf, and he puts on this his No Funny Stuff here. These are really good resources for people interested in competitive play for the game. So he has his most recent videos are the. It's just lagging a little bit. His most recent videos are the clan primers for 2020, going into 2021, and these primers are just a general sort of starting point for if you're starting off with a clan looking to play competitively. Him and a guest on the show, or a couple guests on the show, maybe will go through a particular clan, offer some good competitive deck lists as starting points for you. There'll typically, well, not typically, each one will have a gameplay video for each deck looked at, which is usually 2 decks in the video. And there'll be a gameplay video up with the pandemic and safety precautions. These gameplay videos are screen capture games on Jigoku. But yeah, really excellent resource. You can see the deck. They provide a really excellent description of starting off the theme of the clan. They'll go over the general theme of the clan, then look at a couple competitive deck lists from 2 different strongholds the clan has, and then a couple or a gameplay video for each of the deck lists looked at. So if you want to see them, just talk about the deck, talk about what it's trying to do, what the clan's trying to do, how the deck's supposed to function, then you can actually see it in action as well and see them play it. He will be talking through as he plays as well, so you can follow along with his thought process, and that's really useful. Again, really great resource. Beyond the most recent primers, he has videos which go ways back. But that being said, because his videos are tailored towards competitive play, a video from 2019 is not going to be as relevant to the current meta of competitive play at the end of 2020. So keep that in mind if you're looking at some of his older videos. While that deck might still be somewhat powerful, it may have changed due to restricted list, errata, banned cards. Also, before the clans were role restricted with which role they could take, so there might be discussions of that. That no longer exists. So generally speaking, if you're interested in competitive play and just kind of getting into it now, definitely the most useful videos for you here are going to be these most recent clan primers, because those will discuss what not necessarily quite the current meta, because a lot of these videos were the Lion one isn't up yet, but I think even when it's up, it may have been filmed before the current or the new rules reference and Imperial Law update, so they may not be a complete accurate representation of the new meta following that, but I still think they're excellent. They're really well done, and they're still gonna be very relevant. So, yeah, really good resource here. Let's move on to the next one. And that's the Imperial Advisor. This is a pretty big one here. They have their own website. Again, in a similar vein to the Emerald Dojo, there's a lot of articles here. So if you prefer to kind of read through things at your own pace, you might really like this. They have a lot of articles. we'll just scroll down a bit. Here's like a preview that they were given from FFG of a particular card. Pack reviews here, meta check, book reviews as well. So if you're interested in the fiction and the new novels from Aconite Books, you might want to check out their book reviews here. The Scorpion Clan Coup. This is a single-player story variant for the Legend of the Five Rings card game. I read through this. I haven't played it myself, but especially with the current pandemic and safety restrictions and requirements, you may find yourself with maybe not someone to play Legend of the Five Rings with in person. I mean, that's highly likely that you won't be able to in person. Well, maybe if you're living with someone, or anyway, maybe you're able to play. But if you're not, this is great. This is a potentially fun thing you could do, which is a single player variant, and I won't get into it too much here, but it's they have designed a way to play single player, which follows the story. It does use a wide variety of cards across the card pool. So if you're a newer player, you probably won't own many of these cards. Maybe this might not work as well. They do say that if you don't own all the cards, you can swap cards in and out. The ones they've chosen are just designed to make it as thematic as possible to the current storyline. But yeah, if you're someone with a complete collection, you can follow what they've set out here. Support one of the potential heirs to the throne, and yeah, it's an interesting single player variant. Haven't played it myself, so I can't comment on that, but I read through it, and it seems very interesting. And yeah, there's older posts beyond this, but yeah, lots of posts here. And just another good resource that you might be interested in. Actually, a cool thing that they have the if you're interested in competitive play, they have the current Hatamotos for the clans. You can see crab, crane, dragon, lion, phoenix, scorpion, unicorn. And you can see the current Hatamotos, those who have, I believe, it's having been the top performer of your clan for a day on a Kote level event, or having won a Kote or Grand Kote, I believe. That may not be entirely accurate, but it's something like that. Shoguns are those who have won the Winter Court. So if you're interested in that, there have been 3 so far, as there was not a Winter Court this year, 2020, due to COVID. But you have your world champions here, 2017, 2018, and then the most recent Shogun is the 2019 one. So yeah, that's a really cool thing they have here if you want to check that out. The last the last resource here we're going to look at is, again, one that's really useful for those who are competitive players or those who are looking to play competitively, and that's just that's Hisshou Gaming here. They have some recent videos from a store championship that are gameplay videos. So if you're interested in more gameplay videos, and this is gameplay video of a fairly high level of play, it's a store championship, so it's not the pinnacle of the organized play tournament structure, but it is going to be competitive players, high level play in these videos. So if you're interested in seeing how some of their decks function, how they play the game, that could be of benefit. There's other videos on Jigoku Hangout and other. Actually, they have videos from the Gen Con L5R finals. This is from a year ago, so this would be the 2019 one. And while this won't be indicative at all of the current meta, it's still, if you're interested in more gameplay videos, you might enjoy those, and you can sort of get a little bit of a look at how competitive players play, how efficient they manage their fate resources in terms of cards and honor, etc. So that wraps up the video. There's a look at a number of the resources beyond our channel that I personally recommend for Legend of the Five Rings LCG. I think that across the spectrum of the list we looked at, there are good resources for whatever type of player you are, whether that's someone thinking about getting the game, someone who's just gotten the game, someone who's looking to learn more about deck building, diving deeper into the game, someone who's looking to get into the game's competitive scene. I think that no matter what kind of player you are for the game, I hope that there was an option, a part of that list that is useful to you. If you already knew of all those resources, let me know if there's anything you think that I missed. If there's a particular resource that you like and it wasn't part of this list and you feel as though it should be, shout that out in the comments down below. I'd really like to hear it, and other people will be able to see that as well then. So yeah, go ahead and do that. And yeah, now just a quick thanks to everyone who has subscribed. We really appreciate it. We'll look to continue to produce content, continue to produce L5R LCG content. And if you've made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. Remember to hit like and subscribe if you've been enjoying the content and you haven't already. And we'll catch you guys next time. Happy holidays, happy gaming, and take care.